It is arguably one of the most spectacular rises in the history of world football, from a modest local team to becoming a global giant in just a few decades. This is the story of Paris Saint-Germain. The story begins on August 12, 1970, when Paris FC and Stade Saint-Germain from Saint-Germain-en-Laye decided to merge. The idea was clear: to give the French capital a powerful club that could rival the great French teams of the time, such as AC Saint-Étienne and Olympique de Marseille, and why not dream of competing with the greats of European football? Thus, Paris Saint-Germain was born. The first years were far from easy. In 1974, PSG was forced to start over in the third division after agreeing to dissolve the association with Paris FC, which remained in the top flight. However, the fans responded massively and quickly, allowing the club to return to the second division the following year, and in 1976, only 2 years after their promotion, they made it to Ligue 1, the highest level of French football. The club had found its home in the Parc des Princes stadium, which was then known as the Parc de la Colombière. The 1980s were crucial for the young club. In just 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, PSG went from winning its first-ever major title, the Coupe de France, to conquering the French Ligue title for the first time. The team, led by legendary coach Paul Fargues, dazzled with a beautiful style of play and achieved cult status among fans. Figures like Safet Sousek, Jean-Paul Babin, and Dominique Rocheteau became idols at the club. In 1987, the Parc des Princes witnessed one of the most iconic moments in the history of French football. With a score tied at 1-1 in the final minutes of the game, a penalty was awarded to PSG. Safet Sousek stepped onto the pitch to take the kick, but his shot was saved by the opposing goalkeeper. As the crowd fell silent, Rocheteau reacted quicker than anyone else, heading the rebound into the net and sparking one of the craziest celebrations in the club's history. The 1990s would be a golden age for the club. Thanks to Canal+, a French television channel that took over the club's management, PSG entered a phase of great sporting success, economic stability, and international prestige. Between 1993 and 1997, the club won 6 trophies, including 2 league titles and 2 French Cups. The most important of all was the victory in the 1996 European Cup Winners' Cup. After eliminating the holders in the quarterfinals, PSG faced Rapid Vienna in the final held at the Parc des Princes. Despite conceding first, the French team turned the score around thanks to goals from Valdo and a penalty from George Weah, who was later named European Footballer of the Year. This title established PSG as a major player in European football. Players like Rai, Weah, David Ginola, and Yuri Djorkaeff became legendary figures in the club's history, remembered not only for their skills on the pitch, but also for their charismatic personalities off it. However, the end of the 1990s brought instability again. Canal+ ended its involvement with the club, and PSG experienced some turbulent years without major titles. But the new millennium saw the arrival of talented players like Ronaldinho Gaucho, who dazzled fans at the Parc des Princes in the early 2000s. Despite showing promise, the club failed to win any major titles in the first decade of the 21st century. However, everything changed in 2011 with the takeover by Qatar Sports Investments. From that moment on, PSG underwent a radical transformation, both economically and sportingly. Major players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic arrived, ushering in a new era of dominance in French football. Other stars followed, including Thiago Silva, Javier Pastore, Edinson Cavani, Angel Di Maria, and of course Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. Today, these two are considered the club's new legends. With the arrival of Messi in 2021, the team became perhaps the most star-studded in the history of world football. Under the Qatari era, PSG has won 8 Ligue 1 titles, 6 Coupe de France trophies, and 7 Coupe de la Ligue titles. In 2020, they reached the Champions League final for the first time, although they ended up losing to Bayern Munich. Today, PSG is the biggest power in French football and one of the most media-savvy brands in the world. Its matches are watched by millions of people worldwide, and its players are true global superstars. At the Parc des Princes, the passion and atmosphere remain as intense as in the club's early days, even though now the grandstands are filled with thousands of Parisian faithful. Perhaps the only thing missing from this magnificent story is the long-awaited title in the UEFA Champions League, the trophy that could definitively crown the meteoric rise of Paris Saint-Germain in world football. And if you enjoyed learning about PSG's history, please click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. This helps the channel grow and motivates us to bring you more videos about the history of the biggest clubs and football stars. So like, subscribe, and let's continue this journey together. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.